Demo's almost done. Some of these 2x, I think they're 2x6s, but I need to measure, are rotted out. As you can tell, the people who fixed it previously did a terrible job. So they're rotted out, not only at the tips, but also on the inside. So I'm considering replacing them all, just so there won't be any issues in the future. What's up, Chewy? Here we are again, continuing this project. It's been a couple weeks. Cleared out the roofing mess. Just need to break that down to throw away. I'm starting to remove these beams to assess two things. One, whether or not they all need to be replaced. And two, if there's any damage to the back end there, to see if that needs to be replaced. I'm hoping it doesn't, because that'd be more of a pain in the neck, but we'll see. Okay, I guess it's been a while since I've been here, at least a month. I am gonna have to replace all of these, because even though they seem to be okay on the end that attaches to the wall, they all seem to be just rotted out along this other edge. So rather than try to Mickey Mouse it like the previous person did, I'm just going to replace them all, just to make sure that the new structure is safe and secure. This is what these long pieces of wood look like on the edges, rotted out. And that's why I'm going to end up just replacing the wall. Went to Home Depot, picked up our supplies, replacement lumber, roof shingles, other roofing materials, appropriate bolts, screws, drip edge, it's right there. Just cutting things to size. That, what you see there, is lumber uncut, unmeasured, just to see what I'm going to do next. Dry fit it. Just going to cut it to 135 inches, which is what this is here, as per the previous measurements. Fasten it there on the edge. Once it's painted, I've got that same paint / stain that I use for the posts. So I'm going to cut everything to size, stain it / paint, because it's a white stain, before starting to attach anything. I'm going to sand off those corners as well. That's actual paint, so I might just see if I've got any exterior paint and give that a once silver. Debating whether to do it now or once I'm done, but I guess I'll figure that out between now and tomorrow. So that's the correct size. Just gonna cut them all to that size and stain them all, and then carry on. So next morning we're starting with the painting. Just gonna hit every one of these with the same paint I use for my posts, and then I'm gonna start putting them on top. So here we go, almost there. Got 5 more to paint and replace. Just wanted to compare and contrast the new ones, where are we, here, with the old ones. I started pre-drilling these holes. I don't like the look. I'll backfill these and paint over that later. These other ones, I'm just going to go straight through the side of the wood with a screw once I measure out the correct distance one from the other. So here we go. I'm starting to anchor down the side closest to me. I have to come back again tomorrow to make more progress. There's a board right in there somewhere. It's just a spacer, which is the same distance as the boards are in the back. So again, it's coming along. I just have the last board on that side to remove. The replacement's already painted and ready to go, but I need to anchor the rest of them first before I get to that one. Last one before we start the plywood for the roof. Just removing some old caulk off the wood and the rest of the debris so that when I do set down my planks, they'll be nice and flush against the board and the wall. Plywood's getting painted one at a time. Got this one painted and semi-dry. Got the next one over there painted, drying out. These are next. So I'm going to put them up one at a time as they start to dry, because I need to get this roof on today. It's going to rain this weekend and I don't want any of this stuff to get wet. So here we go. Setting down the plywood. Just need that area there. We've got two more boards, two more full boards. Let's see if we can make them work. I might have to, if I have enough, kind of just patch that side with different boards, just because I don't want to spend the money on a full board when all I need is that chunk there. Standing on the ladder. Now the drywall's up and in place. Just trying to figure out these, God damn it, I forgot the name right now. They're for the water to drip down when it rains so it doesn't hit your wood. Got enough, just need to figure out the placement so I know where to cut. Just nailing in the drip edge. If I haven't shown it in the video already, I will. The people who previously did this attached that drip edge on top of the shingles. If you think of this stuff logically, you'll see that this drip edge needs to be the first thing to go on, because then you lay your felt over it and then you lay your shingles over it, so when it rains the water comes up to the edge, comes down, and then drips off to the edge, and that's going to go all the way around the entirety of the project. But the people who had done this before put this thing on top of the shingles, which would only cause the water to come under and then drip under, which would cause the rotting on the ends of those things. Tin shears to cut that corner. Just cut the top part, and then you can fold it in whatever direction you need. Just getting the underlayment in place over the drip edge before the shingle. First row's in, putting in the second row. Kind of stepping it up till I get to the end and then building the other side up. What I'm doing here is flipping the shingle over, marking it with my blade so that I know where to cut. Then taking a speed square just as a straight edge, coming straight down with the blade, then flipping it around, and then flipping the whole shingle around, just following the same cut so that the piece that I cut fits in this gap perfectly. So there it is, cut to size. So I've gotten to the last row. Flashing's up next. However, the flashing isn't going to come far enough out to cover that gap. So what I'm doing, and I don't know if this is right or not, but it seems right to me. So what I'm going to do is add a second row right over that row, and then just offset it so that the lines don't match up. And that should cover that, so that any water that drops down there isn't going between the gaps down to the felt. Here we go. But other than that, we're done. Flashing's on. Just need a little caulk or glue. I've got something, I just don't remember the name. Between it and the wall. Doubled up on that last one with offset tiles, shingles. And we're done for the day.